Some assembly required. 1. IKEA sideboard. I wanted this to go differently, IKEA sideboard. I had hoped, with time, I might even have called you friend. No more, IKEA sideboard. You have sided against me in battle. Between us, there can only be war. 2. IKEA directions. You came to me under a newsprint flag of truce, offering to bridge the divide between me and IKEA sideboard. You offered yourself as an honest broker. Now all is broken, yet there is no honesty here. Fie on you, IKEA directions. When the bards write the songs of this day, you shall not escape calumny, though it be written in Swedish, or Cantonese, or ungendered pictogram. 3. IKEA Allen wrench. What the actual fuck? 4. To the many small tragedies of the human condition, add how rarely we are able to choose what we are good at. I'm good at telling stories. I know exactly where the parts should go, the fulcrum points where function blends to form. I don't recommend you sit on my poems. But if you did, my poems would support your weight. I'm not good at assembling furniture. If you think I chose my talent wisely, consider, if you will, the checkout line at your local poetry store. Compare it to the checkout line at your local IKEA. The cruelty is that if I had the mechanical aptitude to assemble this sideboard, I would likely also have the income to buy my furniture someplace better. 5. I had been divorced for 2 months when a friend I had known for years called me at 7 o'clock on a Friday night and asked if I could come help rotate the tires on her car. We lay side by side on her driveway, the asphalt radiating back the residual heat of the day. I held the flashlight and she tightened the bolts, and we passed the time by telling stories of our work weeks. When I tell stories, I know exactly where the parts should go. During a lull in the conversation, I asked why we were doing this now, why the car tires couldn't wait for daylight. She said that she was hoping to drive to New York to spend the night at her boyfriend's house. So I asked, well, why doesn't he just drive up here instead? And she answered, because long trips put him in a bad mood. We'd end up arguing all night, and I really need to get laid this weekend. Once her car was roadworthy, we wiped our greasy hands on newsprint, and she drove me back to my place. As I waved goodnight, she gave me this strange, quiet smile and drove off. I don't know what language she smiled in, but I know for sure it wasn't ungendered pictogram. You see, every female friend who hears this story says, what a nice favor. What a good friendship. And every male friend who hears this story says, what the actual fuck? 6. I'm 35 years old. I really shouldn't have so much unscheduled free time on Monday afternoons to assemble crappy furniture. It's not that my life isn't very good. It's just that I am not very good at it. Among the many small tragedies of the human condition, if the worst thing that has ever happened to you isn't all that bad, it is still the worst thing that has ever happened to you. Tautology makes for decent comedy. It makes for weak poetry. It makes for terrifying reality. I don't know where to put that part of this story. 7. IKEA sideboard. IKEA sideboard. I had wanted this to go differently. I had hoped, with time, my days would be worthy of songs. If only I'd had a better sense of direction.